My name is Meredith Jacoby, and what I do at the Henry School is volunteer to help run and manage our awesome school garden.
My name is Katerina Mullins-Sheard. I teach first grade at CW Henry School.
There are so many things that make the garden at Henry School special. What for me makes it so special is that kids get to come out of the classroom and they get to put their hands in the dirt and get to learn all about how to grow food in the actual garden and not just in a book.
Well, you get your hands dirty. You can actually, like I said, taste what you grow, see all sorts of things growing that maybe you never noticed before. I've seen some children try asparagus for the first time, or actually just pick like a blackberry on their, for the first time themselves. So they see this in the store, but to actually see it on the plant is something really special and magical.
I think it's important to have a school garden, especially a garden that grows food, because I think it's so important for us to know where our food comes from, how to grow it, and to learn to love nature.
I think it's really important that we grow our own food, that we see how that's done, that we learn the life cycle of the plant, and get to taste the things that we grow. I think that's very exciting. Everyone always loves that whenever we go.
I chose to volunteer at the Henry School Garden and do class lessons because I had two children that attended school here, and I had seen this garden for so many years and wondered what was going on with it, so that when I had kids going to school here, I felt encouraged to learn more. And once I learned more, then I was excited to help out, not only with my own kids' classes, but with all the kids that go to school here.
So I have lots of favorite sections. I love tomatoes, so I love the tomato section. I love the herbs, so herbs are really important. You can smell them on your hands, you can taste them, and I think the students really love the fact that something that's green can have so many different smells or tastes, which is really neat when you look at the herbs growing.
What's amazing about the school garden is that it's actually open all year round, even though it might not seem like it, but we do classes for the school garden in the fall, mostly in the spring, and then we continue the garden work in the summer, even when the students aren't here.
I think when they planted the blackberry bushes, that was my favorite, because there are so many of them and anybody can come and pick blackberries during the school day, after school. The birds can enjoy them. I think that's my favorite part of the garden.
I learned about gardening first just on my own, maybe about 20 years ago, and then I volunteered at a farm for a little while, and after that I just started to develop my own garden space at home and have been nonstop ever since.
So I think I was here from the very beginning of the garden lessons. So I don't know if that was 12 years ago, I suppose. And I don't remember what we first grew, but probably lettuces or tomatoes or something like that.
This garden started and is a volunteer-run garden by parents in 2010, so it is over 12 years old.
Well, I just think it's a wonderful program that we have. We also have an Eat Right Now program where they're making a dressing to go along with the lettuces that we grow. And so you can tie in a lot of different programs with this garden, and everyone can enjoy it before school, after school, on the weekends. And I just think it's something that's really special for us to have at CW Henry School.
Being in nature is very, very healing, and it's really nice whenever you can to get outside and communicate with.
The students call me Miss T. I'm the 6th and 7th grade math teacher at CW Henry, and I lead our Students Run Philly Style team. I started the Students Run Philly Style team this year in the spring, in February, and I have been working with the program for about 8 seasons, and I really believe in its mission. I'm really excited because what we're preparing for is the Broad Street Run. So our students have never run long distances before, and in the first weekend of May, they'll be running 10 miles. If I was going to take our team on a field trip to learn more about running, I would take them to Kelly Drive, because there are a lot of people that run on Kelly Drive on the weekends. I think that Students Run Philly Style is important because it gives students an opportunity to have a really positive relationship with a caring adult, and also that long distance running teaches you a lot of things about yourself.
What is your name?
Nola Larson.
Why did you decide to join the running? I had done other running activities before and I really enjoyed them, so I thought this would be fun to try.
Where do you run in your free time?
Normally around my neighborhood with my dog Luke.
What is important about teamwork in running?
Well, if you stop, you know that your friends are going to encourage you, so you keep running, and if you're alone, it's harder to keep running, so yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to mention?
No.
Start running.
At the beginning of March.
When did you start running?
During March.
Why did you join the running club?
For fun.
And where do you run in your free time?
Schuylkill River Drive.
What is important about teamwork during running?
When I'm not running with anybody, I just want to stop because there's nobody there. But if I'm running with somebody, if I stop, then they're gonna go ahead of me. Or when you get bored, you just get tired easier.
Is there anything else you would like to mention?
No.
I am Liz Seitzma, and I'm the owner of Wild Hand, and we are a yarn shop here in Mount Airy.
My name is Teresa. I work here at Wild Hand as a manager. What I like working at Wild Hand is the community that we're in and meeting the customers and their children and people that like to do crafts. I teach classes all the time, and kind of all of them are my favorite. But if I had to pick one, I like the spinning classes and I like the sweater making classes the most.
If I had to pick one thing, it would be probably knitting. I like it because it's really portable. So if I'm weaving, I need to have a big loom, but I like that knitting or crochet is small and I can just put it in a bag. I can bring it with me on the train or anywhere I'm going. I like that about it. Making things out of yarn is special because I think that whenever we make something with our hands, we're putting all of our love and good energy into that thing. So if I make a scarf for someone, I'm putting a lot of love and attention and care into it. And so when I give it to someone, I think that that stays with the scarf and that they can feel that too. It also feels good to make something. So I think that it's really fun. Making things is fun. Skein, we take this and we use a machine that's in the shop that we crank with our hand called a ball winder, and it turns yarn that's like this into a ball. It's actually more of like a cake shape, like a cylinder, and that keeps it really neat. So when you're working on a project, you can pull the yarn from the middle or you can pull the yarn from the outside, and that's an important part of keeping your yarn neat and making sure you don't have this big tangled mess. The one thing I like to mention about Wild Hand is that we feel very, very lucky to get to be in Mount Airy. We think that it's a really special neighborhood, and I think that our business has been successful because of this neighborhood and because of the neighbors. People in the neighborhood really like to shop locally and have been so supportive of Wild Hand.
I am Michael O'Brien, and I run Craft Tea in Mount Airy, Philadelphia. I started Craft Tea in 2014 after leaving my corporate job. I decided to start Craft Tea as an alternative hangout for hanging out with my friends, but not going to a bar or a restaurant or really any place where we had to spend money. My favorite type of tea that I sell, I really like oolongs, which would be a caffeinated tea, really good health benefits. But I also like my kava teas, which are really relaxing and have a lot of personality to them. I was inspired to make tea from making music with friends, and I started to experiment with teas that helped me play music. So I would, before making music with friends, I would make these kind of mad scientist mixes with friends, and I just really liked how they came out, so that inspired me to keep making more blends. I make the tea by adding a bunch of different things. So I work with about 60 different herbs and teas. When I have a concept in mind, I'll go to my herb cabinet, and certain teas and herbs will kind of highlight themselves, and I'll pick those teas and make sure to add a certain amount that look good, a certain amount that tastes good, and then a certain amount that makes you feel good. I'd like to mention that Craft Tea now has a retail space. I've been around for 8 years, but just this year I opened up a retail space a few doors down from Weaver's Way in Mount Airy. Please come on by. I'm typically here Saturdays and Sundays 12 to 5.